Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. I am your host, Kim, aka Bravo Breaking News on Instagram, and I am back with some Vanderpump Rules tea. Yes, if you guys watched this week's episode and tuned into our recap with At Lisa Not Renna, you guys know how much we love Anne. Yes, Anne, Tom Sandoval's former assistant, and her debut on this week's episode was just amazing. I mean, the fans are calling for her. Everybody wants to hear from her. She is basically the unsung hero of the season. And last night, we got some new news about Anne that is sending me, and I'm going to get into all the details. But before I dive in, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. So, of course, we saw the scene with Anne and Ariana and Tom at the house. They were basically doing the Ariana and Tom do-si-do, and she is the middleman. She has to communicate between Tom and Ariana about every single detail, meaning what rooms they're going in, who's coming over at what time, can Tom Sandoval throw a party and pay a bunch of people to come. That is basically her job right now, and I feel so bad for her. But we got some good news about Anne. So in case you guys missed it, when Tom and Tom went on the Vile Files podcast last week, Schwartz said that Sandoval's assistant had recently resigned. Now, this was before we were really introduced to Anne, so that didn't really mean much to us at the time. But now, seeing what she's been through and what we saw on the show, I mean, thank God for her. I mean, the fact that it took her this long to resign is insane to me. She's been working for Tom Sandoval since 2020. So that is almost 4 years of working for Sandoval. I mean, can you imagine? But those days are finally over because she resigned, and it looks like she has a new gig. And guess who it's for? Ariana Madix. Yes. Real Moms of Bravo received a DM last night that said that Anne is actually Ariana's assistant now. And my mind was just blown. I mean, good move, Ariana, good move. Now, while this hasn't been officially confirmed, I will say I do have a source and I do believe it to be true. And I just love this for Anne and for Ariana. I think this was a very smart move on Ariana's point. I mean, let's be real. They already have a relationship together. If Anne has been working for Tom since 2020, obviously her and Ariana also have trust built and a relationship built as well. So for Ariana to just snatch Anne over after she left Tom is such a great move, such a great move. Now, I can't help but wonder if Ariana offering her the job is the reason she quit working for Tom or what. But either way, I'm so glad for her to be with Ariana and away from Tom, who has to be potentially one of the worst clients you could possibly have as an assistant. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Anne's feature on this week's episode as well. And a lot of people think that Ariana was actually treating her poorly. You know, I mentioned in the recap that it's really, really hard in a situation like this to not shoot the messenger because, let's be real, Tom and Ariana absolutely hate each other. But Anne is actually backing Ariana up and saying that wasn't the case. In a recent episode of her new podcast, We Signed an NDA, she shared, I totally thought it was justified. If I was in that position, I would probably be like, wow, the audacity of asking me if you could have your birthday party in this house, in this situation. If there was any frustration, I could tell that it was definitely towards Tom. Like, I didn't take it personally. She has every right to feel annoyed at this request. So it looks like Anne totally understood the situation. Obviously, Ariana was not being bitchy towards her. She was being bitchy towards this ridiculous ask that Tom was asking Ariana, especially leave your house, go get a hotel while I throw a party here. Like, come on. And as I shared, Anne had been working with them for a really long time. So when Ariana and Tom finally broke up, it was actually very hard on her. She also shared, I was crushed because as a personal assistant, you become part of your boss's lives. And it's no secret that I dearly love Ariana. She's incredible and so cool. And the three of us would hang, and there'd be times where I'd have to, for work, stay later, and you start feeling kind of like a family a little bit, and you become really close. So hearing this from Anne's mouth, it makes sense why she's now working for Ariana. And I think that this will be definitely a better work environment than working for Sandoval, especially post-Sandoval, because the shit that she had to deal with from Sandoval was insane. And one of which was actually gathering the letters and the postcards that Raquel was sending Sandoval, trying to keep them from Ariana. Anne shared, when Rachel was in Arizona, she would send mail to Tom Schwartz for Sandoval. Then Schwartz realized his role was toxic, so Sandoval told Rachel to go ahead and send things to him direct, as his assistant would get it. So Anne was responsible for receiving the letters. And Anne's response? My response to that is, bitch, I don't work Saturdays. I'm your girl Friday, but I don't work on Saturdays. And Ariana wakes up way earlier than all of us because she is a busy, busy lady. And I don't come into work till 11. So if the mail is delivered before then, sorry. And justice for Anne. I mean, the fact that Tom was asking her to literally be the middleman in this situation, which is already extremely controversial and is only going to cause more toxicity in the house, isn't fair to Anne. And honestly, it's not fair to Schwartz either. So I'm glad that Anne finally saw the light and got the hell out of there. I really hope we get to see more of Anne on this season of Vanderpump Rules. She's honestly a light in this very, very dark time in Ariana and Tom's house, and she is keeping it together, man, way better than I would in this situation. So let me know what you guys think of Anne. Let me know if you think it's true that Anne is working for Ariana now. Do you think that Ariana made the right move hiring her? Let me know, and make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news or Vanderpump Rules recaps to come.